Okay, bonjour. So today we're looking at a different tense, one that's aimed mostly really at year 10, year 11, and we're talking about the future tense. So obviously we can start by thinking, what is the future tense? Well, the future tense, if you think about it, the future tense is talking about what we're going to be doing in the future. So you could say something like, this evening I'm going to have a takeaway for my tea. Or you could say, this weekend I'm going to go to the cinema, something like that. So this is what the future tense is, talking about what's going to happen. And I like to call this one the real future tense. The real name for this is le futur simple in French, but this is what I call the real future tense. This is a slightly more complicated version, but is much more impressive than using the je vais version that we start learning in year 7. They're both fine, but I think this one's more impressive. We'll have a look at it. So this is different than the one we've already looked at. So here's some examples of this future tense. You could say something like, je regarderai la télé. Or you could say, je mangerai une glace. So the first one would mean, you can think about what it would mean. I will watch telly. And the second one, I will eat an ice cream. You can stop it here and have a look at how you think this verb, I'm talking about really here about the second word in the sentence, the verb. How is the verb being formed here? You can have a look at that. We've got a few more examples here. Il jouera au rugby. He will play rugby. And nous porterons des baskets. So again, you can have a look at those and see if you think they're the same sort of thing. What's happening with them? How are we forming those verbs, the second word? So hopefully what you came up with was that we've got the verb regarder with er on the end. That's called the infinitive. So we've taken the verb, just the verb you find in a dictionary. You've just taken the verb and you've simply put ai on the end. Je regarderai. The second one down, we've taken the verb manger and we just simply put ai on the end. Mangerai, regarderai, mangerai. So we've taken the full verb and we put ai on the end to make it into the future tense. But we only add ai on the end when it's je. If we want to say he will play rugby, then we still take the full verb. We've still got jouer, the full verb with er on the end. But this time, instead of putting ai on the end, because it's not I will play, it's he will play, this time we put an a on the end. Il jouera. And the fourth one down, nous porterons. Once again, we've still done the same thing. We've taken the full verb porter, to wear. We'll wear trainers. Taken the first word porter, to wear, and we've added ons on the end this time. So the ending is slightly different, but the way it's formed is still following a pattern. We take the full verb and we put an ending on the end. So let's have a look at that again in a bit more detail. So the first thing we need to do to form the real future tense, this more sophisticated, more impressive version of the future tense, is first of all we need to find what we call a stem, and that is basically a verb called an infinitive, the full verb. So it's the full form of the verb, and we also have these. I'm not going to go through these too much. Arriver, to arrive, écouter, to listen. All these verbs that we should really know by now. They're all the full verb. We just take it out of the dictionary. We've looked up, for example, the bottom one, to watch, in a dictionary, and we found regarder, and we've just taken that. So we've still got the er on the end of these. Here's some more of them. Aimer, adorer, détester, habiter, rester. They're all the infinitive. So we just take this full verb, the infinitive, and then we add something onto the end of that. If we don't know a verb, we can look it up in a dictionary. So we've got tomber, to fall. We can just use that full verb. And we've got couper, to cut. We can just use that full verb. We don't need to take anything off it. We just take the full verb and use that. And once we've got that full verb, we need to simply just add on these endings. And these are the endings for the future tense. ai for I. You is as. He is a. And she is a. Nous is ons. Vous is ez. And they is ont. ils, an ONT, and LONT. So let's just go through that again. So basically what you do to form this future tense is you take the verb, let's say jouer, the verb to play, with ER still on the end, and you just simply, it's really simple this, you just simply add on those endings to the end of your verb. So if you want to say I will play, you would say je jouerai. If you want to say he will play, you'd say il jouera. If you want to say we will play, you'd say nous jouerons, with ONS on the end. If you want to say they will play, you would say ils joueront, with ONT on the end. So we just take the full verb, jouer, and we add on these endings. So once again here, I'm going to say something that I keep saying. We're going to need to learn these endings. AI, AS, A, ONS, EZ, ONT. And once again, I'll say this, that if you haven't learnt the endings from earlier on, from the present tense and from the imperfect tense, if you haven't learnt those endings, then this is all going to get confused in your head. You need to have a sit down and try and learn the different endings, because you're going to get them all muddled up, and then you're going to be adding different things onto different things because you're going to be all confused. So you really need to sit down and learn them. There's no substitute really for sitting down and learning the endings. These are the future tense endings: AI, AS, A, ONS, EZ, ONT. A couple of, obviously we can go on YouTube and have a look at some songs, we can make a song up ourselves, but also, I'll just ask a question, do those endings look familiar at all? Have a think about where you might have seen them before. And the answer that I sometimes get from some pupils is that those endings are actually the endings, are actually the part of the verb avoir. J'ai, tu as, il a, elle a, nous avons, vous avez, ils ont, elles ont. So a lot of those endings are very similar to the verb avoir. If that's just totally confused you, then it doesn't matter. But if you understand what I'm talking about, that might help you to learn the endings to the future tense. They're very similar to the verb avoir. But one way or another, whichever way you choose, you need to learn those endings. AI, AS, A, ONS, EZ, ONT. Those are the endings for the future tense. You need to make sure you know what are the endings for the imperfect tense, what are the endings for the future tense, because you need to make sure you don't get them mixed up. Some examples then. So here we've got the verb to play, so I've got the full verb there, jouer, and I'm going to add on my ending, je jouerai. Here we've got the full verb again with you, we're just adding on AS for you, tu joueras. We've got the full verb again for he, we just add on an a, il jouera. For she, again, you're just taking the full verb, jouer, with the ER still on the end, and you're adding an a. So we've got AI, AS, A on the end. We will play is nous jouerons. We're taking the full verb, put ONS on the end. You will play, get a full verb and add EZ. And they will play, we take the full verb and we add ONT. Ils joueront, elles joueront. So those mean, je jouerai, I will play. Tu joueras, you will play. Il jouera, he will play. Elle jouera, she will play. So again, I've taken the full verb jouer and I've added on these endings to the end. Now, let's go through the rest of them. Nous jouerons, we will play. Vous jouerez, you will play. Ils joueront, they will play. And elles joueront, they will play. Again, if you just stop and look at that for a minute, some of you may be not seen anything like this before. This is totally different to what you've seen before. And this is what I'm saying, it's quite impressive if you can use that in your work. Then an examiner will be really impressed by you using this different form of the future tense. So you need to try and understand it and try and learn it. But again, you just need to sit down and learn the endings. So the endings, AI, AS, A, ONS, EZ, ONT, they're going on to the full verb. In this case, that verb is jouer. But if you look down there, you can see jouer is just spelt the same all the way. Jouer, 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 with ER still on the end. Okay, so the final thing we need to talk about is that in some instances, these 4 instances, that rule doesn't work, I'm afraid. There are 4 verbs, well there's more than 4 verbs, but there's the irregular verbs, that doesn't work. If, for example, we look at the top 2, je ferai de la natation and j'irai en ville, you'll notice that those are, first of all, they're I sentences, and the ending is still the same. We've got AI on the end of both of them. So the good thing here is that the endings in the future tense are always the same. Every single verb in French in the future tense takes those same endings. AI, ASA, ONS, EZ, ONT. So what has changed then? Well, what has changed is that for these special verbs, there's not many of them, but a few, they're not using the infinitive as the stem. So you remember before where we just took the word jouer with ER still on the end, and we put AI on to the end of that? Well, this time that's not happening, because these are irregular verbs, and unfortunately, we just need to try and learn them. Obviously, I'd love it if everything was just normal and followed the pattern, but we don't. It's not that way because they have some irregular verbs as well. So the first one, je ferai de la natation, that's from the verb faire, but it's irregular, so we have to change it to FER, and then we add the ending onto that. I will do swimming, or I will go swimming, you French would say. The second one is from the verb aller. Actually, it's very irregular, so we don't just say aller, put an AI on the end of aller. It's irregular verb, so we have to change it. So that the stem would become ir, IR, and then you put the ending onto that. J'irai en ville, I will go into town. The third sentence down there, elle aura 6 ans. That verb is the verb avoir. So we can't just take the verb avoir and put the ending onto avoir. We have to change the stem over to or. Again, I don't really know how to explain that. It's just the way it is. It's just an irregular verb. So elle aura 6 ans means she will have 6 years, or she will be 6 years old. Because, don't forget, the French, when they talk about age, they don't say I am 6, they say I have 6 years. So that's the future tense of to have. And the bottom one, nous serons fatigués, ser, S-E-R, is the stem of the verb to be, être. So that's a different stem, but the ending is still the same. The ending is still ONS for we, but we've just got a different stem. So these are verbs. This is obviously getting complicated now, but these are verbs. You just have to, alarm bell should go off in your head whenever you see the verbs faire, aller, être, and avoir. Then an alarm bell should go off in your head because they're always irregular in lots of tenses. So nous serons fatigués means we will be tired. We will be. Nous serons. So let's have a quick look at that then. So it says attention, attention, be careful. There are some verbs which are irregular, but the endings are always the same. So the endings are always AI, AS, A, ONS, EZ, ONT. But the stem is different. The stem needs to be learnt by heart for a few verbs. And so for être, the stem is ser, that's the verb to be. So ser is will be. For avoir, to have, the stem is or. Aller, the stem is ir, to go. So I will go would be j'irai, for example. And faire is the stem for to do or to make. There's a couple more as well I could just add on to the bottom. So pouvoir is the verb to be able. So I can or I will be able to. You would put the ending onto that, pour, instead of pouvoir. And venir is the verb to come, but the stem is slightly different. Viendrai, it would be. Je viendrai, I will come. I'll come to your party this weekend, for example. So those top four in particular we need to be very careful with. And there are a few other irregular stems as well. We need to learn those. So here's the verb to be, for example. So we don't add the ending onto être up there. We don't add AI onto être. We add AI onto ser instead. So je serai, I will be. Tu seras. So the ending is still the same. You will be. Il sera, he will be. Elle sera, she will be. Nous serons, we will be. Vous serez, you will be. Ils seront, elles seront, they will be, is the bottom one. So look at the endings. The endings are still the same. AI, AS, A, ONS, EZ, ONT. So the good news is here, we don't have to learn different sets of endings. For the future tense, there's only one set of endings. AI, AS, A, ONS, EZ, ONT. But sometimes the stem is a little bit different. Not often, but sometimes. So I will be, je serai. Tu seras, you will be. Il sera, he will be. Elle sera, she will be. Nous serons, we will be. Vous serez, you will be. Ils seront, they will be. And elles seront, they will be. Excuse me. So, just to remember then that sometimes the stem needs to be learned. Look at a few examples then. We can have a go at these. You can have a go at these at home. Hopefully you've got some notes written down. So, I will play. How are we going to have a go at that one? Well, the answer would be that. So we've got the full verb jouer, and we've put ai on the end. Je jouerai is I will play. We've got we will sleep. So again, what we need to do, first of all, you think what's the verb to sleep? So we should maybe know that. We can have a look somewhere. The verb is dormir. And so we take the verb dormir and we put the endings on the end. So it would be nous dormirons. We will sleep. Next, we've got he will eat. They, masculine, a group of boys, will watch. You two will go. Be careful with that one because that one's our first irregular verb, really. The verb to go. We know what we already know the verb to go is aller, but do we add our ending onto aller? Or do we add our ending onto something else? She will have, again, the verb to have is an irregular one. Live, they will live, that's not really irregular. You will be, that is irregular. We need to be careful with number 8. So we need to be careful with number 5 and 6 and 8. I will finish, and we will come. We have to be careful with that bottom one as well, because that's irregular. So you have to be careful, particularly with number 5 and 6, number 8 and number 10, because they're irregular verbs, and we don't just take the verb and add the ending on. So we can pause it now, and we can have a go at those sentences. Okay, so let's have a look at number 3. He will eat. So we get the word he, which is il, and we've got the word to eat, which is manger, with er still on the end, and then we need to add on our ending for he, which is an a. That's what we say. Il mangera. He will eat. Number 4, they will watch. Well, again, we need, first of all, we need the word for they, which is il, with an s on the end, I-L-S, il. And then we don't need an extra word for will. We just got it in the verb. So we need the verb to watch, which is regarder, with er on the end. So we just keep the verb regarder. And then this time we add on our ending for they, which hopefully remember is ont. So ils regarderont. They will watch. Number 5, you will go. So here we've got a bit of an irregular one. So first of all, we need the word for you, which is tu. I've already given it there, tu. And then we need the word to go, which is aller, but we can't add the ending. The ending for this would be as. So we've got tu and we've got as on the end, but it's the bit that comes before it that we need to be careful of. It's not going to be aller because it's an irregular verb, so it would be, the stem for aller is ir. So it would be tu iras, you will go. Number 6, she will have. Well, again, we take it one step at a time. We get the word for she, which is elle. The verb to have is avoir, but again, it's irregular, so we don't add the ending. The ending is a here. For she, a, just an a. But we don't add it onto avoir. We don't say elle avoir. That's just nonsense. So we need to get the stem, which is or, and we add it onto that. So elle aura means she will have. Good. Be careful with those two. They're irregular stems. Number 7, they feminine will live. So we've got the word for they feminine, which is elle, this time with an s on the end. Elle. And the verb to live is not irregular here, so we've got habiter. Habiter. And then we add on the ending, which for this is ont. So you should have got elles habiteront. They will live. So they will live in New York, for example. Elles habiteront in New York. Number 8, you will be. Vous. This time. Talking to someone we don't know, maybe. And again, we need to be careful here because the verb to be is irregular. So you should have vous. Your stem for the verb to be is ser, S-E-R. And then the ending is ez. So vous serez. You will be. I will finish. Number 9. The verb, obviously we need the word je for a start, is the word for I. Finish is the verb finir. and this one's not irregular, so we just add on the ending to finir, which would be finirai. Je finirai. I will finish. And finally, number 10, we've got we will come, and the verb to come is venir, but it's irregular in this instance. So we need the word for we, which is nous, and we need the stem, which is viendre, and then we need the ending, which is ons. So it would be nous viendrons. We will come. So what we've done in most of those questions there, apart from number 5 and 6 and 8 and 10, sorry, for all the rest, we've just taken the full verb and we've added on the correct ending. So ai, as, a, ons, ez, ont. But for number 5 and 6, for example, we've had to be careful because the stem is different. So we haven't just added an as for number 5. We haven't added as onto the verb. We've had to take a different stem. We have to learn those off by heart. There's a lot of learning needs to go on here to get this right. Okay? If you want a bit more practice on this, again, we can go on Languages Online, and there's a section there about the future tense, le futur, and we can have a go at some sentences, some questions, some sentences. We can check if we've got the right answer. Okay, merci et au revoir.